Hey guys, it is day 6 of my video week. I hope you enjoyed the video so far. I'm going to be a little quiet in this video because it is currently 9:39 at night in my brother's room, which is right over there. He's asleep. My parents are right below me and they are asleep. So I'm going to make this video really fast because again, I did not really have anything planned for this video, but I'm still putting a video out there for you guys. And yeah, so this one, as you can see by the title, is about my near-death experience. I was just sitting here trying to come up with a video idea, so I'm like, why don't I come up with a story time video? So I hope you enjoy this. So I actually have two near-death experiences. One of them happened when I was in 10th grade, and another one happened when I was going into 11th grade. So really a few months apart. Didn't actually realize this until just now. And the first story about when I'm in 10th grade is actually a really scary story. So we're gonna start there. In 10th grade, I was in marching band all through high school, and we would do this thing where we would go to the 4 elementary schools around us and do our marching band show, just standing there playing for them. So we called it the elementary band tour. So what had happened was it was a rainy day, and this is the second day of our tour. We did 2 schools on the first day, and this is 2 schools in the second day. So during this day, it was a Friday, it was kind of rainy out, not really, and we were going on these back roads to the school. So we were in 2 different school buses. On the first school bus was the brass instruments, and on the second school bus was the woodwinds and the percussion. Brass and color guard were on the first bus, woodwinds percussion were on the second bus, and chaperones on each. So what was happening was we were driving down these roads that were kind of curvy through the woods. They were back roads and it was rainy. And I remember I was looking over at my friends who were sitting across from me, and I was sitting next to a girl, and we had hit something. So I had to look forward, and there's this huge shatter all across the bus window. And then I guess what the bus driver was doing was trying to rebalance the bus. So we're driving, went off-road, hit a telephone pole, and then to kind of get back balance, she tried to go on the other side where there was this little hill, but it was actually a lot steeper, and we actually went up too far kind of going up. So what had happened was the bus had then rolled over one complete rotation and then landed on its side. So I remember hitting my head on the floor. The girl behind me had leaned up, held onto the seat. I had went behind her, hit my head on the floor. I think I hit my head on the ceiling, and then we all landed on the side of the bus. I had landed on my back on top of my clarinet case on the side of the bus. So I was a little stiff from moving. I had hit my hand on the bus. I had hit my head, a huge bump on the back of my head, and we went out the back of the bus through the emergency exit. After a while, a bunch of ambulance came. Everyone who was on the bus, it was only the second bus, my bus, that had the crash. So everyone on that bus got taken to different hospitals. I was taken an hour away from the accident into West Virginia because I was in the southwest corner of Pennsylvania, so they took us an hour away into West Virginia. I had no cell phone. I had lost my cell phone at the beginning of the summer after 9th grade, so I didn't have anywhere to call my mom or get into contact with my parents. I had a huge bump on the back of my head, and I was laying on one of the boards they put you on with a neck brace, and I just remember my head hurting for so long. I had to get an IV because I thought I had blacked out during the crash, so they were preparing me for that. And yeah, After we got to the hospital, I was checked up with the doctor, I was fine. My parents came and got me, and I just remember that I was completely fine until I saw my parents, and then I started bawling, and I couldn't even tell them what happened because I was just so shaken up. And once I saw them, I'm like, oh my god, I could have died, because the road is here and next to the road is this drop off. So if we had rolled one, because we landed on the side, if we had gone back onto the top of the bus, we could have rolled down into this ditch, and it could have been way worse than it was. So after realizing this, I realized I could have died. I had a near-death experience. So that is my first story. So I'm quickly going to do my second story because it's not really as bad as the first one, and honestly, I'm probably exaggerating, making it out worse than it actually is. The second story, it was I think July, and we are visiting my dad in North Carolina, and we were going to go visit my aunt, my dad, my brother, and I, who lives across the state of North Carolina in the mountains. So we're going there for the weekend, visiting them, and they wanted to go whitewater rafting. We're like, okay, cool, that's fun. So it was me, my dad, my brother, my aunt, my uncle, my one cousin, my other cousin, and his wife. So there was 8 of us going whitewater rafting. We couldn't all fit in one boat, so we were all split up. So in one boat was me, my dad, my brother. Another boat with my aunt, my uncle, and my one cousin. And the last boat was my cousin, other cousin, his wife. And of course there were other people with us. So it had been raining, so the waters were really high. And the rapid levels were also raised up from I think a 1 and 2 to maybe a 2 and a 3. So we're going, we did the first rapid, we were fine. And then we got to the second rapid. Our instructor of our boat was actually new, and this was only one of his first few times going down the river. So what had happened was we got stuck in this little like hole in the rapid, and our guide had fell out. So we do not have our guide with us. So we are all confused what to do. We're trying to get out of this rapid, and what had happened was the boat had turned over, so everyone fell out. And this is the part which kind of scares me so much, was that we were one of the last boats to get out of this rapid, and all the other boats kind of sit off to the sides at different points to catch people in case they're floating on the river. So our boat had flipped over and we were all floating down the river, and I remember I was one of the ones, I might have been the only one to go the farthest down the river. I was floating backwards. You have to keep your feet up in the air, or you risk them getting stuck at the bottom of the river, and then you could drown because you will be stuck. So I'm trying to keep my feet up, I'm trying to turn around, and I'm floating down this rapid completely, because if the rapid starts here, it ends over here, we got flipped over like right at the beginning. So I'm floating down this rapid, and I remember going over rocks on my back, and I remember like going over them completely and feeling it all on my back. And I had grabbed so many of the oars we were using, and they don't keep you floating, they can't help you. So I'm floating down this rapid, and I'm so scared that I'm just gonna keep floating and get into another rapid and like die. And I'm just like, oh my god. People were trying to throw the bags with the ropes out to me to get me, but I was in like the middle of the river, so you couldn't really get to me. Eventually I floated over to this side, and I got into one of the boats, and I was just so paralyzed. I was freaking out. Right after that rapid, we had stopped for lunch. So we had pulled over to the side, and I just remember hugging my dad, like crying, because I hated this. I was not having fun anymore. I was completely over it. My cousin's wife, she was completely over it. We were totally going to climb up the side of this cliff and walk the train track back to the site where we started, because we were completely done. But we had ended up finishing the day. We kind of took the easier routes, the easier rapids, or at least my boat did, because we also had a little boy in the boat who also floated down really far, and he was not happy there either. So me and my cousin's wife had made like a promise to each other, like, we are never gonna go whitewater rafting again. We are so done with this. We really did not have fun. The beginning was fun, but after we fell out of the boat, it wasn't fun anymore. And I guess looking back at this, I kind of over-exaggerated and like, oh my god, I almost died. I really didn't. I guess I almost died in the first story, not really the second story, but it still was scary to me and I still will never do it. But yeah, so I guess those are my near-death experiences. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if there's any times you guys almost died. And yeah, there was one more video left in my video week, so that is going up tomorrow. Check that out. I am also doing Vlogmas. I officially decided I'm going to do it, and I'm going to post every other day starting December 2nd. So I will have 13 videos. The last video will be on December 26th. So you'll be able to see my Christmas and Christmas Eve and stuff. Yeah. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I make new videos every Saturday, and there's one more video left for this video week. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!